Welcome. This is, oh, wait. I got to do my usual. Good afternoon. It is Friday, May 9th. My name is Karen, and this is BobbleHeadKnits. I am flustered. This is like take number 20. I've had everything going crazy over here as I've started to vlog. Had an issue with my work computer, which I'm not working, but I would like to have the screens on, and something was going on with the computer and the screens wouldn't come on, so I had to reboot all that. Then my one kid came home and the dogs went nuts, and then I thought we were safe to start recording, but then she decided to come in here and use my printer, and my God, then it was like she was in here making me laugh and she left. So I was like halfway through recording, so I had to like chop that part out or pause that part. Then the people across the way, their landscaping company came and started like using the power blower, and it was just crazy nuts. Okay. And now hopefully we'll be okay. All right. So this is gonna be crazy. Okay. I have a finished object. Oh my gosh. Okay. I have a finished object. Baby. Baby has pants. For those of you who this is their first visit, Baby does not belong to me or anyone that lives in this house. Baby belongs to my grandson, who is 2. Baby is anatomically correct. Baby, my grandson Atticus lost Baby shorts. And Atticus lives 3 doors down, and we think the shorts ended up going in like a donation bin or something. We don't know. But his mom asked if I would just make him some pants. So I knit these pants up. It is a pattern that I started off using a pattern, and then I totally went off the rails. So yeah, okay. Baby's pants are actually boxers. See? They're really kind of big, but they work. Atticus has seen Baby. Atticus is currently in Hawaii, lucky kid, but he was FaceTiming with me on the day that I finished Baby's pants, so I was showing him. Atticus was very intrigued, insisted that Baby stay on the FaceTime call the whole time. And then Atticus let it be known that Baby needed a hat. So I will be knitting a hat for Baby. Doll clothes. That's what my knitting has become. The pants used 12 grams, the boxers, 12 grams of skepsies, yeah. Skepsies, maybe. Don't know. This is Stonewash. I think it's Boulder Opal. I think that's the colorway, but don't quote me. I am using this also for another project, so I'll show that to you shortly. But yes, 12 grams. I'm counting every little tiny bit of yarn I use. Okay, that's all I have to say about Baby shorts and boxers, whatever you want to call them. Okay. All right, let's move on, shall we? Okay, Baby's now back in Baby's basket. All right, the reason I was knitting pants to begin with for anything, I was knitting Charlie the chimpanzee right here. And you can see Charlie, he's kind of, he's back there. It might be too dark, but he's back there. And Charlie is done, but his clothes are not done. And that's what got everyone, like Atticus's mom was like, could you knit pants for the baby before you knit Charlie's pants? So Charlie here was supposed to be my monkey, but Atticus has claimed him. He is here now because I needed him for sizing and all, but I'm gonna go ahead and knit the pants. They're jean shorts. Not the shoes, I don't think. Maybe we'll see though. But the shirt and the jacket also. But no sewing as far as like I'm not putting on buttons, I'm not sewing on the pockets, so there'll be a slight variation. So far, the only thing I have of the pants, hang on, let me get it. Sorry if you heard that. It fell, and it fell into a metal basket, so it was scratching up against it if you heard that. All right, this is all I have of Charlie's pants so far. I was too busy knitting boxers for baby. Charlie's pants will be done by the time Atticus gets back, but I'm still going to hang on to Charlie because I need him for sizing for everything else that I'm making. So yes, the entire monkey is made out of the same yarn. It's all skepsh. Yeah, I'm just totally botching it, so I won't say it again. But you can go look on my project page on Ravelry. I'm also BobbleHeadKnits there. And yeah, the whole thing will be done in the same yarn, just different color. So yes, it's coming along. And I'm counting each piece of clothing, everything separate, like counts as a different finished object. All right, let me get this out of the way. Hang on. Sorry. Yes, I threw it on the floor. Before I forget, I had, in one of my 20 other intros that I started, I had wanted to start off by saying that you could reach me on Ravelry as BobbleHeadKnits. You could email me, bobbleheadknits@gmail.com. You should not message me on Instagram because the account is sitting there, BobbleHeadKnits, but I have not posted there in months, and I'm not checking that account anymore. I have left it, but I don't want to totally get rid of it in case I decide to go back should Meta and Mark Zuckerberg have to sell Instagram off. Then I will go back to Instagram, but not, yeah, I got some issues with it. Let's just leave it at that. Not with Instagram, but with Meta and yeah. Okay, sorry, crinkle. That was totally off topic. Not really off topic, but yeah. Okay, let's move on. Crazy podcast. Okay, let's go on to, and I'm just gonna very briefly touch on this one because we are all tired of this project. This is my whip that will not die, my husband's sweater. It is the Dustland sweater by Stephen West. It is beautiful. Unfortunately, I keep running out of yarn. I am currently working on the second sleeve. Both sleeves, well, this sleeve just needs a cuff done. This sleeve, I'm hoping I can finish and not run out of yarn. I'm just kind of piecing it together as I'm able to find the yarn. The yarn is Shibui Knits. The base is Haven and the colorway is Caper. It's DK weight yarn, but I'm holding it double, so it's worsted weight. And yeah, it's a beautiful sweater. It started off as a Christmas sweater, didn't get done, turned into a Valentine's sweater, didn't get done. Almost was done for St. Patrick's Day, but then I ran out of yarn. So twice now I've gone back to Ravelry and I'm asked people if they would sell me some from their stash. And I've had 2 people sell me some. I know it's like iffy if I'm gonna be able to finish this because I think I don't have enough yarn still, but I'm just gonna keep knitting on it. I've lost my mojo on it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just tired of this project, like all of you. I want it to go away. I picked it up yesterday for the first time since last week, and at least I felt like I made a good dent on the sleeve. I'm just putting it off because I feel like I'm gonna run out of yarn again, and I'm just frustrated with it. It also, you know, it's starting to warm up here. I live in Colorado. It's like 70s, 80s, so it's not something I want to be knitting when it's this warm. And I don't know, just not that into it. We're all just tired of it. Like, Are you tired of it? Because I'm tired of it. And I know Karen at Recreational Knitting is also tired of it. We had this conversation. So yeah. All right. That's what I'm going to say about that. However, if you do have Shibui knits, Haven Base, and the colorway Caper, I will pay good money for it if you would send me like another skein or two. Okay. Hopefully I'm just being paranoid and I'm not really gonna run out, but it could happen. All right, next up, the flip side. Hang on, I gotta look it up because I can't remember. My iPad's right here, so hang on. The Flip Side Tee by Tanis Laval is what I am knitting. My other whip. This whip I really want to work on because I have a bit of a deadline for it. I'm knitting it to take on vacation with me in a month. Here's what I got so far. I'm very close to splitting for the sleeves, but I have not gotten there, and it's not really fast knitting because it's fingering weight yarn. I'm knitting it in Hue Loco, and I actually have a few different things of Hue Loco that I'm using. So this main color right here is part of a sock set that I bought. It's from her Take Flight collection. It was a special collection she did right around the holidays, and this was the Parrot sock set. So it was a 100-gram skein of this big chunk, and then two smaller ones. Honest to God, I can't even tell you which of the colors were with the big skein, but these are all the colors. Oh wait, hang on, I'm missing a couple. There were two that came with the big skein, and then I can't show you all these at once, so hang on. We'll try it again. I can't tell you which two came with the big skein, but that's basically all the yarn I'm using plus the big skein. So the the other yarn was also from the collection, but it was a mini set that was You've Got Me Humming, and it was just like I think it was, what was it? Oh, 520-gram merino sock yarn, same as the sock set, but they were just individual mini skeins. So I combined them all and am making this beautiful sweater. I love the bright colors on this. I don't usually like stripes, but this seemed like a good way to use it. And I'm just alternating between that and then the solids. And yeah, it's fingering weight though, so it is taking a bit of time to knit. I think once I get out of once I split for the sleeves, I think it'll go much faster. So my goal is to get that done before I go on vacation in a month. The big question is, can I do it or not? Questionable. Okay. I'm knitting, I think it's the large size or so. It's like 40-inch bust. There's some positive ease there, which will be fine. And fingering weight. So I've never knit a fingering weight sweater, but I decided that if I were going to knit any more summer shirt tops, they had to be in fingering, because all the other ones I've knit in past years have been DK or sports weight, and I don't wear them because they're too heavy. I really prefer like a real lightweight t-shirt, like super lightweight. And so I just decided I'll try a fingering weight one. So we'll see how that works. All right. I realized though, let me tell you something, because I am doing stripes, I realized if I finish this, I could enter it into Lisa at Knit All the Yarn, 72 Stitches. I think Knit All the Yarn is her podcast, 72 Stitches is her Instagram name. Because it's stripes, I could enter it in Lisa's Knit All the Stripes knit along. So she is doing, basically encouraging people to knit things with stripes, but she is mainly knitting socks. But you can enter whatever as long as it has stripes. So if I finish it, that's getting entered. But speaking of socks, I am knitting socks also. So my next whip, which is the last whip we're going to talk about, I am knitting along with Lisa and a bunch of other people the Knit Picks Lisa colorway Felice yarn. And this is what it looks like in the skein. I did not cake this up, and I'm regretting it. Lisa told everyone to cake it up, and we didn't, or I didn't. Bad idea. I will not be making that mistake again. So she started the knit along on May 1st, and if you had this Felice yarn from Knit Picks in the colorway Lisa, she encouraged you to start with that. So I just happen to have it. A little backstory here. I have never knit with Felice before, and a few years ago they got rid of all the Felice. They just did away with it, and there was a bit of an uproar because people really like Felice. I had never bought any, but I had planned on buying it, so I was kind of bummed that they got rid of it. So I guess they decided, we'll bring it back because people really miss it. And so here we are, they bring it back. As soon as it went on sale again, I jumped in and I had to buy this because it was the Lisa colorway. And I was thinking one of the biggest fans of Felice is Lisa. And so from Knit All the Yarn, 72 Stitches. So I was like, I'm going to buy that in honor of Lisa. So it's a Lisa colorway. This is what it's knitting up to. The light pink is actually just some yarn from Knitty Yarns. Yeah, I don't know. It's from a advent that I had. Hang on. You'll notice all these. I'll tell you why those are all there in just a second. But they're loose ends that I need to weave in. But this is what they look like. So the light pink is from Knitty, can't remember. Yeah, I'll list it maybe down there. We'll see. But this is the actual yarn. Okay, I've got two. I'm not knitting them on the same needles. They're on separate needles. I'm never buying this yarn again. I mean, it's pretty, but I've got a lot of complaints. And we'll start with the one that just has given me fits. I started knitting, so I have two balls, right? One I'm knitting from the outside, one I'm knitting from the inside. I did not cake either up. I was being lazy. I regret that now, totally on me. So I start knitting, and this one, I almost immediately come across a short little stretch of color here. There's not there should be so many stripes in one color, like 8, right? It was half of that. So I had to cut the yarn. I had to take a big chunk of it out. I had to then go find the color I needed to finish. And then I ended up with more little balls of yarn, right? This has happened 3 times. It's like bad dye job. So the colors really should be, or the stripes should be about 8 rows each. I've had 3 times now where they're like 4 rows. And so I've had to cut the yarn. It's only been on this sock. So this sock, if you look, all of that, I have to go in and weave in the ends. This one's been fine. This is the one that I knit from the outside of the skein. So that was complaint number 1, which had I wound the yarn, I don't know that I would have caught it. I would have been knitting on it and just found it. But that was like a pretty big, like I was like, that was pretty bad dye job. But then as I'm knitting, and I don't notice it on the sock. It's okay. The one with all the ends, though, I noticed this. There is all kinds of, I don't know if you can see, but there's all kinds of, like the dye has bled. And it's in a bunch of the different stripes. So it just looks real muddled and murky. And I was going to give these away as a gift, but I don't feel like I can now because this yarn's pretty. I mean, look at that. I hope you can see that. Yeah. Look, it's commercial yarn. It's cheap. I think I paid like, I don't know, $5, $6 a skein. So it's cheap yarn. The other thing is I've been doing this, I found like a bunch of knots in the yarn. So I love some cheap yarn, but I don't want to sacrifice like the quality of the dye job, right? Like that's what really made me think I can't buy this yarn anymore. So yeah, but I mean, I could just knit and not worry about how big the stripes are and all, but you know, I kind of want them to be not super matchy, but close enough. So yeah, so I'm not happy about it. Yeah, I'll finish them. I'll probably keep them for myself. The one thing though, something else I'll be knitting for Atticus. I was over on Monday night, the day before they left on vacation, and I was sitting there knitting, and I really did not have, I mean, I think I probably had like that much done, right? Just that little bit. Atticus saw it. He was like, sock? And he really wanted to put it on. And I was like, well, these won't fit you, but Grandma can make you some socks. So I'm going to knit Atticus some socks, probably out of this, even though they're crazy colors. I'm going to just use some leftovers and give it to him. Yeah, but so there's that. But I don't think I'm going to buy any more of this yarn because like my first time experience with it has not been good. Lisa also from Knit All the Yarn has had issues. She actually got them to send her another skein of yarn. I was well into it before, you know, like before I noticed the issue with the second skein. So I was like, it's not worth it for me to go complain to them. So I'll just go ahead and finish it and just not buy any more of it. I didn't tell you what pattern I'm knitting. I'm knitting DRK Everyday Socks, which is a toe-up sock with the Flegel heel. I only knit one other pair of these. I usually knit cuff down, but I knit it and I really enjoyed it. So I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and knit this sock again. So there's that. All right, let's talk about, hang on, I'm looking. Okay, we'll do stash enhancements, also known as acquisitions or retail therapy. Crinkling, sorry. I'm not saying I'm never gonna buy Knit Picks yarn because I actually did buy some Knit Picks yarn. I bought this lovely Clementine skein of Dishy, and this is so I can knit some more dishcloths with a certain person's name and 4-letter word on it. And so I'm going to knit these for Christmas and for gifts for people. So I got these, and yeah, got that, just the one. It was on sale, so I was like, just buy the one. And I got free shipping. I got free shipping because I left it in my cart overnight. And then I got a message saying, oh, you can have free shipping if you buy this. It's like on sale for $4 and free shipping. I was like, oh, I'm buying that. So, all right. I did buy also some other commercial yarn, sock yarn. Last week I showed you that I had gone to Purple Circle Yarn Co. and bought a mini set so I could make scrappy socks out of it. Well, I was like, I should just buy a whole skein of that yarn and just see how it is. This is slightly different base, but this is what I bought. It's Opal 4-ply. I'm not even going to attempt to say it, but surprise, it says. But there's some other German words. Not going there. All right, so this yarn is, I'll show you the picture. It'll look like that. Can you tell? Yeah, I was like, that's really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and knit some socks out of this. It is commercial yarn. I've never knit with Opal, but I like the look of it, so I thought I'd give it a try. I'm trying to find like other commercial yarns that I like, so I'm not always spending like $50 on sock yarn just to knit socks. So that's why I'm like just going around buying different commercial yarns. So I have the scrappy set that I bought that I showed you. This was bought from, I can't remember the name of the company, but it was on Etsy. And Opal is a German yarn, and they have different bases. This base feels kind of, I don't know, just it feels weird. Hang on, let me tell you what it is. This is 4-ply. It is, well, maybe, supposedly you can wash this in the washing machine with no problem. You can pretty much do that with most sock yarn. Oh, it's 75% wool and 25% polyamide. I think it's the polyamide that I'm feeling. It just feels like kind of polyester, plasticky. Wait, it's fine. I'm gonna still knit it. We'll see if I like the texture though. It's definitely different than the Felici. It just feels different. So the colors, hang on. Sorry, I had to bend down. The colors are very similar here. If you heard a dog barking, it's our dogs. Now my kid's going off, my other kid is going off to, I have 2 kids, so, and one lives in our basement, one lives down the street. Yeah, can't get rid of them. This is the Felici, this is the Opal, very similar. These are bolder. I prefer this, to be honest. Like, I don't really, like, when I was knitting this, I was like, oh, I hate that orange color. It's not a good color. It's weird. But this, definitely better colors. Feel-wise, though, I prefer the feel of this. So, we'll see. Okay, I'll report back once. I'm going to throw this into the Lucky Dip bag for sock yarn. I have a pillowcase size bag of sock yarn, and I'm going to put it, just so y'all know, because Lisa is doing her knit along all through the summer. I'm only going to be knitting striped yarn through the summer, but I will still do Lucky Dip, but if it's not striped, I'm not knitting it. All right. Yeah. All right, so that's it for the stash enhancements. All right, one thing I did not do last week is state of the stash. So I'm gonna just really quick do that, okay? I started April with 459 skeins of yarn, which is 32.7 miles of yarn. I used all of 2.28 skeins, or 0.2 miles. And I brought in 8 skeins of yarn, which is 0.9 miles. So overall, I'm at 465 skeins of yarn, which is 33 miles of yarn. And I will have a lot out of stash once I finish my husband's sweater and a few other things. But yeah, you know, I've been buying a lot of yarn lately, honestly. I think I explained this last week. If you watched last week's vlog, work is super busy right now. Crazy busy. It was like our busiest week this past week. It was just insane. But I motivate myself to go to work by doing retail therapy before and after work, and sometimes during work. So I bought some yarn, and I signed up for some knitting clubs, or yarn clubs, things like that. So yeah, it's, this year was my year of doing whatever the hell I wanted, and that's what I've been doing. So I do have more yarn coming in. Don't know when it's coming. I'll show you when it gets here. All right, moving on. That's the end of the yarny stuff and the knitting stuff. So let's move on. Let's talk about some life stuff. If you're not hanging around, I totally get that. Sorry, I'm like this. I'm recording on my phone. My husband just sent a message about, he's a writer, he's an author, and he is finishing up a book. He's really close, and so he's just messaged about it, and I'm like, ooh, that's really good. I'm so tired of hearing about his book, but just this particular book. It seems like it's just been like nonstop for, I think we're going on 4 years now. Okay, seeing it all. I'm like, it's coming up on my iPad too. I'm also getting a message from Alice at Soxy Nanny Alice saying that she just posted, so I need to go watch hers. Hi, Alice, if you're watching. All right, life stuff, if you are sticking around for that. Last week, didn't make it to Costco last week, but we did go today. It was out that evening, I started sneezing like crazy, and I was sneezing like crazy all week. It didn't turn into anything. It was just allergies. I was like, I can never go outside again because I was so like hay feverish. So it's settling down. I still have a little bit of it, but nothing like it was last week. I don't know if you can tell. One of my eyes, this one, is really red. I think that's actually not from the allergies as much as it was from swimming. I was swimming this morning, so yeah. The other thing we did in the last week, besides sneeze all week, Atticus got his first haircut, and I'm going to insert a picture somewhere here because it was a 3-generation haircut. So my stepson, Atticus's dad, he goes to a barber just for his beard because he is bald. And so they wanted to take Atticus to this guy. And then my husband needed a haircut, so my husband went too, and pretty much we made a day of it. It was like all of us went over there. And Atticus and my husband and Atticus's dad, my stepson, all got haircuts. So I'm going to show you a picture. It was really cute. Atticus did not, he let out a little screech once like he was going to cry, but he didn't. And the only bad thing, though, is that Atticus had like really longer hair with some, the baby curls, the whole, it was the first haircut, so he had curls and all that. And his mom really wanted just a trim. But by the time the guy got done, Atticus got more than a trim. Atticus' mom wasn't too happy about it. And I mean, it's just like, if you are a parent, you know that the first haircut is always hard. So Atticus did really well, but it was not the haircut that we all thought he was going to get. So, but it's still cute. So picture somewhere, you've seen it. Okay. Other things, nothing really. I was so busy, I did not have time to do anything else this week. I did finish a book, though, so we're moving on to TV and books. Book-wise, I finished Lucy Foley's Midnight Feast, and I can't go too far into it without giving it away, but basically this rich Harris woman opens this luxury spa resort in this British seaside town, and the locals are not happy about it, and things happen. So it is good, though. It is very much a mystery story, and just a good book. And yeah, I'm very close on another book, which I'll tell you about next week. What else? started another book. Yeah, okay, that's enough about books. TV-wise, we have been watching The Studio, which is on Apple TV with Seth Rogen, I think his name is. Super funny. All kinds of cameos by like pretty major big name Hollywood people. Just very funny, very like a good take on Hollywood. So yes, if that interests you, it was, yeah. I mean, we were like really laughing hard, so it's that kind of TV show. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go now. This is a little bit long. The beginning was crazy, I know. Sorry. Everyone have a great week. If you are in the US and you're celebrating, happy Mother's Day if you're a mother, and if you're not, that's fine too. Just happy weekend. I will be back next week and have hopefully some more finished objects. Not the sweater probably, but definitely some baby things. All right. Talk to you later, everyone. Bye.